We have software that can draft a complex legal brief in seconds, and AI agents executing Python scripts before a developer pours their morning coffee. But look at the actual data for global productivity. Notice how the trend lines for both the United States and the world begin to drop starting in the mid-2000s, exactly when these automated tools began entering the workforce. Economists look at this clash between high-tech capability and sluggish economic data and call it a productivity paradox. Governments and corporations are pouring trillions of dollars into software and hardware, yet the broad economic metrics suggest that this investment has yet to make us more efficient. We have been here before. In 1987, economist Robert Solow observed that the computer age was visible everywhere except in the productivity statistics. Companies were eagerly installing thousands of beige terminals across the world, expecting an immediate jump in output. Instead, aggregate performance barely moved for years. This repeating mystery is explained by a specific economic pattern, the J-curve. It describes a trajectory where new technology causes an initial decline in measured performance before an eventual surge. New technologies with broad applications don't offer immediate speed. They require an economy to slow down and rebuild its entire way of working before the benefits appear. To understand why this drop in productivity happens, we have to look at the friction involved in changing how a business actually functions. In the late 19th century, factories began ripping out their steam engines to install the newly invented electric dynamo. But those early managers made a strategic mistake. They took a single massive electric motor and placed it exactly where the old steam engine used to sit, connecting it to the same inefficient system of belts and drive shafts. For 30 years, industrial power remained centralized. It was only after a slow period of trial and error that engineers began attaching small individual motors directly to specific workbenches. That shift to localized power allowed for a complete physical redesign of the factory floor, which replaced the old, cramped clusters of machines with the linear assembly line. This messy process is what economists call intangible capital. It's the unmeasured time spent on training, reorganization, and reinventing workflows to fit the new technology. Standard economic statistics cannot easily track this hidden work. Consequently, output appears to be falling, while businesses are actually constructing an invisible foundation for future growth. Today, the modern economy is navigating the bottom of that same valley. We are seeing a divide between the 5% of companies realizing significant value from AI and the 95% that are realizing almost no measurable impact on their profit and loss. Most companies are simply repeating the mistake of the early factory owners. They are buying AI software and plugging it into their existing, outdated digital workflows without changing how the work is actually done. They are missing the intangible capital, the unmeasured effort required to restructure their data, reorganize their teams, and integrate AI deeply into their core business processes. The current productivity stats reflect this friction. AI capability is scaling rapidly, but the essential organizational restructuring required to harness it is still in its early stages. Once that hidden work is finished, the curve reaches its final phase, the surge. We saw this when the reorganization of factories led to the manufacturing boom of the 1920s. We saw it again when the slow office investments of the 1980s paved the way for the internet boom of the late 1990s. We are already seeing the first signs of the next shift. Recent data shows a significant decline in hiring for entry-level roles tied to codified tasks, suggesting that a large-scale reallocation of work is beginning. Companies that only buy subscriptions will remain stuck in the dip. The gains will belong to those that do the difficult, unmeasured work of rethinking their business models from the ground up. History shows that significant economic gains follow decades of awkward reorganization. The AI surge is coming, but only for those who build the infrastructure to catch it.